With tonight's final presidential debate, we are in the home stretch to the 2020 election, but with so many changes this year between the pandemic and numerous headlines surrounding election security, political scientists say we should prepare for a lengthy wait on those results. Millions of Americans have already cast their ballots this election. And yet, with less than 2 weeks to go, political analysts are looking at some of the possible hiccups.
I think at this point, we just don't know really what the challenges will be. We just know that they're going to be there.
UCCS Political Science Department Chair Josh Dunn is among those looking closely at the election and the uncertainty of what's to come.
We might be in for election week. Hopefully not election month, but it might be possible.
So many different maps on different outcomes are out there, and there are a handful of states which could play a big role in the results. And many people are taking a good look at history and the lessons learned in the 2000 election.
I think we learned some things, but I'm not certain that we'll be able to avoid them.
For a quick history lesson, in 2000, George W. Bush won the Electoral College and Al Gore won the popular vote. Gore's campaign asked for a recount for several counties in Florida, and there were issues with some of the ways votes were cast, such as with a hole punch, leading to hanging chads, and votes that couldn't be counted. The election then went to the Supreme Court and ended the recount, saying it violated the Equal Protection Clause.
And now you could imagine similar conflicts arising in, again, 6 to 8 states. What should count as a fair initial counting of the ballots, and then a fair recounting of the ballots.
Some of the other variables to consider this election, all of the different state laws surrounding how votes are received and counted. With the pandemic, many legislatures changed or adapted laws to make voting accessible. And in key states like Pennsylvania, where ballots can't be counted until the day of, it could play a big role come election night. Add on to that, unlike Colorado, other states accept postmarks for votes to be counted, something the Supreme Court has already weighed in on.
In 2020, the date stamp might be our version of the hanging chad.
And yet, even with all the possible outcomes, one thing that we likely will be sure to see is some form of litigation.
I think the other danger is this election is shaping up to potentially be the Lawyers' Full Employment Act, where both parties have hired, small armies of attorneys.
And many states will be looking closely at Colorado, as of course we're very familiar with running mail-in elections. The other aspect of this is the current nomination process for Judge Amy Coney Barrett and how it could shape future election decisions that end up at the court.